Okay, everybody, today we're going back to 1984 to check out something that might be a little bit more style over substance, but that doesn't make a difference. And plus it had... Just look at her, I mean... Look at her. Let's go. Okay, today we are going back to 1984 to check out a cool little rock and roll fable from yesteryear. But before we go any further, once and always again, to the trailer.
I'll be coming for her, and I'll be coming for you too.
Sure you will, and I'll be waiting.
You are about to enter a world unlike any you've ever seen before, where rock and roll is king. The only law is a loaded gun. Where the beautiful...
Stay and see the show, it's really good.
The brutal...
I want Tom Cody.
And the brave all meet.
From now on, it's for real.
In Streets of Fire.
You're lying in your bed and on a Saturday night, you're sweating buckets and it's not even hard. But your brain has got the message and it's sending it out to every nerve and every muscle you got. You've got so many dreams that you don't know where to put them, so you better turn a few of them loose. Your body's got a feeling that it's starting to rust. You gotta rev it up and put it to use. And I don't know how I ever thought that I could make it all alone. When you only make it better, and it better be tonight. I'll be there for you tonight. And if you don't have anywhere to go, you go down on the pedal and you're ready to roll. And even if you don't have anywhere to go, you go down on the pedal and you're ready to roll. And you'll be all you'll ever need, all you'll ever need to know. Darling, darling, you and me, we're going nowhere slowly. And we gotta get away from the past. There's nothing wrong with going nowhere, baby. But we should be going nowhere fast. Everybody's going nowhere slowly. They're only fighting for the chance to be last. There's nothing wrong with going nowhere, baby. But we should be going nowhere fast. It's so much better going nowhere fast.
Now, from the creators of 48 Hours, Universal Pictures presents Michael Paré, Diane Lane, Rick Moranis, and Amy Madigan in a Walter Hill film, Streets of Fire.
Okay, this gem was directed by Walter Hill. Now, if you don't know Walter Hill, you should know Walter Hill because he's done some of the coolest shit ever. We're talking about he's done Hard Times and The Long Riders. Oh my God, that was cool. And 48 Hours and Red Heat, Crossroads, Johnny Handsome, Southern Comfort, Brewster's Millions. But all that means shit because he directed The Warriors. And that's all you need to know about that. Okay, playing Tom Cody was Michael Paré. Man, his career went up fast and it went down just as quick. Let's face it, folks, this guy's about as one-dimensional as a sheet of paper. But it is what it is. He was in this. He was in the Philadelphia Experiment. He was in The Village of the Damned and Hope Floats. And he was in Eddie and the Cruisers, Part 1 and 2. And then he went on to more B-level shit like Point of Impact, Strip Search, Red Serpent, Ninja Cheerleaders. He was on TV in a short-lived piece of shit called Star Hunter. And he was actually in a sequel to this motion picture called Road to Hell, which was, the continuation of a Tom Cody adventure. And Deborah Van Valkenburgh came back for it. And it looked like it was filmed in front of a green screen behind somebody's house. It was the most embarrassing thing to motion pictures in the history of mankind. So, Michael Paré, for a little while, was hot shit on the scene. But man, not a great actor. Okay, playing Ellen Aim. It's Diane Lane. One of the reasons we're all here. Oh, hotter than fire and sweeter than a whole thing of cotton candy. And an amazing actress on top of that. She's been around for a long time, been in some really cool shit. I mean, she's been in this. She was in Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains way back in the day, which was a cool little flick. She was in The Cotton Club, in The Big Town, and Night Moves, and Judge Dredd, and The Perfect Storm, and Under a Two-Scant Sky. Tuscan, I always say it wrong. And Hollywoodland, Man of Steel, and Kill Shot. She was in Unfaithful, which was a really, really, really big hit. And she was in one of my favorite motion pictures of all times, and that is Rumblefish. Oh my God, man, that is just one of those motion pictures. Did I mention The Outsiders? She was in that too, obviously. But Rumblefish, phenomenal shit. Diane Lane, great actress, beautiful, beautiful girl. What can you say? Okay, playing Billy Fish was Rick Moranis. Now, Rick Moranis, come on, dude. He's been around forever. Little Shop of Horrors. Suddenly Seymour. Come on, been around forever. But he's been in a whole bunch of other shit other than that. We're talking he was in Strange Brew and Ghostbusters and Brewster's Millions, which was another Walter Hill flick, obviously. He was in Little Shop of Horrors and Spaceballs and Parenthood and My Blue Heaven and Little Giant and the Flintstones and the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies. And he came back from way in the day on SCTV. So, Rick Moranis, oh, man, he's been in so much cool shit. What more can you say? It's Rick Moranis. I mean, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Okay, playing McCoy is Amy Madigan. Now, she's had a career that's been pretty long, pretty varied. Never went on to be like, super A-list level, but her career has been really respectable. It's been really at the top of the game. She's been in some big shit. Anyway, here we go. She was in stuff like Love Letters and Places in the Heart and Nowhere to Hide and Uncle Buck and The Dark Half and Pollock and Female Perversions, and she was on TV and Grey's Anatomy and Ice and stuff like that. So she's been around for a really, 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 really long time. Still out there doing her thing, I think, but she's in this, and she actually does a really good job. She comes across as this gruff, kind of tomboyish chick, and she does it well. Hey, okay, playing Reva Cody. Deborah Van Valkenburgh. Let's face reality, folks. To me, to you, and to just about everybody else, she's always going to be Mercy from the Warriors. Come on, that's her signature thing. She'll always be that, and that's just the way it's going to be until the end of time. But she was in other stuff. She was in stuff like King of the Mountain and The Devil's Rejects, but really mostly TV. Cagney and Lacey and Quantum Leap and Picket Fences. She was on ER, and she was like kind of a star on a TV show with Ted Knight way back in the day called Too Close for Comfort, which was actually a really good show. It was kind of funny. Came, went. You don't see it floating around in reruns. I don't know why. It was actually good. So, you should see more of it floating around instead of seeing 87 episodes of Friends in a row every fucking night. But is what it is. You got to take it as it goes. And last but not least, playing Raven Shaddock. Oh my God, isn't that just a cool fucking name? We'll get more into that shit later. But playing Raven Shaddock is Willem Dafoe. What more needs to be said, folks? Willem Dafoe, probably one of my favorite actors over the last 30 years. Phenomenally talented, good in everything he's ever done. Let's go down the list. We're talking he was in this. We're talking he was in Live and Die in L.A. and Platoon and Once Upon a Time in Mexico and Daybreakers and Mississippi Burning and Wild at Heart and Shadow of the Vampire and John Wick and did I say the Boondock Saints? I can't remember, but fucking whatever. He was in that, and he was incredible in that. I mean, he was off the hook incredible in that. So, Willem Dafoe, amazing. And I probably should say there's a whole cast of other people that are in this thing. I mean, that might not have lead roles, but are all names that you know and that you love. I mean, we're talking people like Bill Paxton. We're talking Rick Rossovich. We're talking Richard Lawson and Lee Ving and Stoney Jackson and Robert Townsend. So this thing is loaded with names and stars. I mean, they're all over the place. You can almost just pick them out of the background as this thing goes on. You know what I mean? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This thing is just crawling with people. Okay, everybody, I'm going to keep this simple and short, as I always do, 90 seconds or less. And since the story to this is so goddamn ridiculously simple, there's almost, it should probably take me like 45 seconds. Okay, you got Ellen Aim, and she's this big rockin' singer. She's a beautiful girl. She's like the queen of her fucking town, and all this other kind of shit. But One night, she's giving a concert, and she's singing. She's on stage. She's laying it down. And the local biker band, well, they're kind of from the town next door, comes in and they kidnap her. They take her right off the stage. They beat up some of the locals, and they storm out of town. Why did they do it? Who knows? They didn't offer a reward. There wasn't a blackmail. I guess Raven just likes to kidnap hot chicks. Who the fuck knows? Well, who do they call? Because they need the help. They call Tom Cody, former flame of Ellen Aim. You see how that rhymed? I did that on the fly, by the way. Anyway, he comes back into town. His sister, Deborah Van Valkenburgh, is saying, we have to help out Ellen Aim. We got to get this under control. We got to go rescue her, blah, blah, blah. So he goes and talks to Billy Fish, her manager, and he says, I'll rescue her for 10 grand. I'm not doing this for her, blah, blah, blah. You know, bad blood, bad relationship, fucking whatever. And they all go off and they rescue Ellen Aim. They get her back. They bring her home. But the gang is really upset about it. Raven wants his trinket back. So he says to the police, listen, I'm going to destroy your entire town unless me and Tom Cody meet one-on-one in a single man-on-man street fight in the middle of town. Winner take all. That's basically the whole gist of this motion picture, folks. The story is not really in depth. It's just like, you know, singer kidnapped by bikers and boyfriend shows up to rescue her. Okay, I'm going to tell you why this motion picture kicks ass. One, yes, the plot is simple. Yes, the plot is relatively generic. Yes, the plot is a bit stupid. But this motion picture is so stylized and shot so fucking beautifully that it will blow your mind. You feel like you're watching a living cartoon, a living comic book, much like The Warriors. This is a movie that takes place in a land that never was, in a time that never existed, but it's a time that always exists in a land that's right next door. It's not reality. It's a comic book movie, just like The Warriors was. You know, The Warriors kind of felt odd, like, yeah, this is Coney Island, but it's not Coney Island. I mean, you got these weird gangs. That's the same thing here. These two movies could play back to back as a double bill at any drive-in or any night in your house, any day of the week. The use of colors is amazing. And let's face it, the use of music is what puts this thing over the edge. I mean, you got Jim Steinman writing a couple songs, Nowhere Fast, Tonight is What It Means to Be Young. It's shot in there so perfectly. They're like these beautiful music videos, a la Purple Rainish. They're just mind-bogglingly dazzling to look at. It's just, you get glued to the screen. Throw in some music by The Fix. Throw in Dan Hartman's I Can Dream About You. You got Stevie Nicks floating around on this thing. You had some songs written by Tom Petty and shit floating around on this thing. So the music is just amazing. And beyond that, it's just a very simple, very straightforward little fable, a little tale. It's got some cool characters. Yeah, I know Michael Paré can't fucking act. Whatever. But at this point in time, with this, and Eddie and the Cruisers, and the Philadelphia Experiment, everybody thought this guy was going to be the takeoff article. He was going to be the next leading hero man, because he had the look, and he had the voice, and all that kind of shit. But then they realized what he does is all he can do. And his career just kind of tanked into fucking whatever land you want to call it. But at this point, he was kind of a hot commodity. Diane Lane, still in the beginning of her career, was this just powerhouse of beauty and actually acting ability. She's going on to do some great things. And of course, you got Willem Dafoe. This is one of his earlier works, folks. Earlier works. I mean, we're talking back in the days when he was still doing, like, you know, The Hunger and Living Down in L.A. and all that kind of shit. This is when he was young, and he just batted this shit out the park playing Raven Shaddock. I'll have you know a little side note. I desperately, when me and my wife had our son Kyle, that I wanted to name him Raven. She wasn't too keen on that idea. Well, we got Kyle just because I like this movie character too. And the rest is history. Okay, back on track. Go out there, sit down, objectively watch Streets of Fire, and tell me you don't have a good time with it. It's just one of those feel-good flicks of adventure and silliness. And don't expect realism. Yeah, you know, Tom Cody shooting at people and blowing up motorcycles with every pop off of his .30 caliber fucking lever-action rifle. It's goddamn ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. The whole thing is just fucking ridiculous and stupid, but it's fun, it's energetic, the music's amazing, the look is incredible, the vibe is just an adventure, and that's all this is supposed to be. Okay, folks, everybody, be safe, have a good one, sit down tonight, watch Streets of Fire, have yourself a good time. This motion picture is definitely worth the watch, criminally overlooked, bombed at the box office in every way imaginable. I mean, it just tanked. But that doesn't matter. It's still out there to watch. It's still out there to be enjoyed. Everybody, God bless you all. Stay safe. Be cool. Treat each other with love and respect, and take care. Bye.